and welcome to Poker Night Live. We're here, as we always are, 7 nights a week watching live internet poker, but it's a very special show tonight because here he is beside me. He's a handful, a very much a handful. It's Dave Devilfish Elliott. Good evening.
Good evening, darling. How are you?
Very well, thank you. And also we have the wonderful James Browning.
Hi, Lindsay. And hi, David.
Hello, James.
We're going to
Good to see you,
need
mate.
all the strength we can muster up tonight. It's going to be a brilliant show. It's amateur night tonight on Poker Night Live, so we want to help you improve your game, and you've got two of the best men in the business to help you do that. So we want your questions through straight away. Take advantage of having these guys here and use their knowledge to improve your game. So we want you to text us. The text number is this. There it is on your screen for you. And you can also email as well. The email address is poker@pokernightlive.co.uk. So get those questions coming through straight away. We're going to be here for the next 4 hours, so loads of time to answer your questions. Send them through to us, and we'll get some games as well for you. You've got a great multi-table tournament to have a look at as well.
What was the text?
It was on the screen. So you've been playing tonight, haven't you, Dave?
No, I was actually playing this afternoon.
Right.
And I was playing last night, and I got some really bad beats. And hopefully I've got them all out the way because I'm going to the Bellagio next week in Las Vegas, and that's really big money. So hopefully I've got all the bad luck out the window.
Can you tell us, give everyone a flavour, because we had some results from the Vic earlier in the week. I think it's a big festival there. What were you actually playing today? What was the event?
I played in the British Open, which was on the. I think it's the enemy. I can't really mention them apparently, but it was on the Poker Channel. I'm not allowed to mention them, and I got. I got rid of 4 players. I knocked them all out myself, and then I got heads up with a guy, and I was big chip leader, and then the wheel fell off. You know, this guy's running really hard at the moment, and he's a really nice guy, so I'm pleased for him.
Who's that, Dave?
A guy called Mac Goldwyn.
Mark Goodwin.
That's what I said, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was close. It was close.
I've had a few drinks.
You called him Matt.
Gold.
No, you
I
don't
got
say
gold. I said gold. I mean, that's the main bit of the name, gold.
David, I remember Mark from a long time ago in Birmingham because he used to be a blackjack
Let's not
player.
talk about him too much, you know. I mean,
No, but not too much. But
we
we like to fill in the pieces about everyone so we know the story.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, he used to be a blackjack player, and he's just sort of come back into the poker world now, and he's actually he had a result in Monte Carlo as well. I think.
Well, you know, I mean, poker's a form game. It doesn't matter how well you play. You know, you've got to be in form. It's as simple as that. You know, when you're playing tournaments, you know, and if you're out of form, you've got no shot. It doesn't matter how good you play. And he's banging form at the moment. He's just catching cards out of his. I forgot what I was going to say.
You don't sound like you're from Hull, Dave, but of course you travel all over the world. Where's your favourite place in the world to play poker?
Las Vegas. I mean, it's the place. It's the place to party, and it's the place and it's the place to play.
Yeah, that was like a...
I've had quite a few drinks tonight, folks, so make sure the questions are nice and simple.
Yeah, well, it is amateur night tonight, so all you new players out there, we want you to send your questions in, poker@pokernightlive.co.uk, and we'll put them to Dave. He'll do his best to answer them, won't you?
What's amateur night all about? You got me on amateur night?
Yes, we have got you on amateur night. We want to improve the game of our new players.
Okay, I'll try.
So
Actually, I want to just ask you something there, because you said something interesting already, because you're going to say loads of interesting things, I'm sure. And that was you said about it being a form game and about confidence. Do you think it's just that when someone's hitting a few cards that their own game improves?
Yeah, I mean, it's like any walk of life. If you're confident, you know, you've always got an edge over people who are feeling unconfident. And I think poker's a bit like that. When you expect to beat somebody, you do beat them. You know, it's like boxing. You know, once you've been knocked out by someone, you go back and try the rematch. You usually get knocked out again because it's psychological. You know. But yeah, it's a lot of psychology in poker, and but you know, I mean, that don't bother me. I mean, I am being in really good form, although I just captained England, and you got to watch that on Channel 4. But you know, I haven't been in a lot of form just lately, but I'm still confident. I'm still a cocky bastard, you know.
No, but
that's say that on TV, cocky.
Yes,
yeah,
just about.
Yeah,
okay.
we know you're naughty.
Actually,
we know
that's
you're a
one of the-
handful.
I've had the pleasure to be at the same table as Dave, and the cracking thing about him is that he actually just really takes over a table. So it doesn't matter what cards he's got, he'll strike fear into the players, and that's a massive thing.
I'm not surprised with those knuckle dusters. You'd put the fear of God into me, I tell you.
I won't need these, baby.
come on, get your questions coming through. We're here till 2 o'clock. We want all your texts and emails through. The text number, there it is up on your screen. And also you can email us in the studio, poker@pokernightlIve.co.uk. Okay, so James, we're going to get to a table. I think we've got a multi-table tournament to get to.
Okay, that's great.
So let's head over to the MTT. There it is.
Okay, we get a few little flashes around there, but hopefully with this tournament, there's a green there, which means it's a multi-table tournament.
Yep.
And I think we're going to be getting some details through very shortly on this.
We've got Big Dave at the bottom there.
Yeah.
That's not me.
It's not you playing on the
that's
side.
what some of the girls do call me.
I thought you were bigger, Dave.
Even bigger Dave.
Oh, even bigger, Dave. Yeah, I knew it was one of them. Not Big Dave. No, it's not that. Right, this is the first stages of this multi-table tournament. It's starting with 1,500. Actually, it looks like this one's a different format, actually. The chart starting, I think, with 2,000 chips here. We haven't been given the info, but if you look around now, I'm sure it must be 2,000 chips to start with. The starting level is 1020. For those of you just kicking off, all the action comes from the dealer's button, which is that white button with the D on it.
Yep.
The D is not for Dave Ulliott or for Devilfish. It's in fact for it's for dummy. It's the dealer's button, and from there is the small blind, the big blind, and all the action carries around clockwise. Well, Steve-O's got the top pair there. Big Dave. It's definitely not Dave Ulliott here.
No.
You wouldn't put in a weak bet like that, that's for sure.
It's a nice turn card for Steve-O.
Well, just confirmed his thoughts that he's got the best hand.
It's actually just give Big Dave an out, he can catch a jack now. But I don't like it.
Now, funny enough, oh, actually, well done, because Steve would have been wrong there. Although he's got two pairs, he'd be wrong just to let him come along for nothing, because actually he'd be giving Big Dave value then, trying to hit one card, but he actually charged him. So, well, not bad players both in the end.
No, that's right. I mean, if you can't bet with top two, you might as well not bother playing, right?
I agree, but sometimes you see people,
yeah,
they think they've got the world, they've got two pair, but they realise the hand they're giving them are probably straight draws or flush draws.
That's right.
It's so stupid, isn't it?
They're only going to get action if they get beat. So
Exactly right. So, well done to him. He actually, sometimes the obvious plays aren't obvious to people, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Right, Mosa, thinking with the queen, got the top, popped in 20. Right, we've got a straight draw and a flush fall for Osbin. Look at this, nut flush draw and a nut straight draw, and he's got it. He's got the nut flush.
Yeah.
And he's going to get paid off from the queen.
Yeah.
How much though?
However much he bets, I would imagine.
What do you reckon? What should he raise here? Any idea?
Well, he don't know what he's got, so he's probably going to just, put a small raise in. If he knew he had the queen of diamonds, he'd probably put a bigger one in.
Yeah. Well, touch and go if he gets paid here, isn't it?
I'd like to be sat with a 4-5 of diamonds. You did say he had the nuts, and he hadn't actually got
No,
the
they're not
nuts.
the nuts. No, I mean, sorry, they're not. I was just saying
Close to the
flush
nuts.
Close to the nuts. You're dead right. The straight flush would have been the nuts.
But sometimes it's hard to see on here, actually. We've got Osbin. Is that Osbin Leiden?
Yeah.
With ace 10.
Yeah. Notice he's not under the gun. Can't find him.
We don't want to find him.
I must admit, I was away on that cruise, which I think quite a few knew about, and the first night there, I had the pleasure to have dinner with Dave, and it was a very pleasant dinner as well.
Yeah, we always have a laugh.
And we had a laugh, didn't we?
Yeah.
We had it with all the camera crew there,
Yeah.
and we had a few jokes.
Well, I couldn't get rid of the camera crew. They wanted to follow me in the
They
shower.
follow you everywhere.
They just follow me in the shower and stuff, you know. I mean, it got a bit embarrassing.
The poor camera crew.
Oh! You said she was going to be trouble.
I knew she was trouble.
Oh, I
when
can
saw-
handle
You said you
myself.
could tell from her eyes.
Yeah, she handles herself a lot, I'll bet.
We're going to go to another table now, I think, on this MTT. There we go, through the matrix. Started off with 65 players, James, 64 left in. and there's been $2,000 added to the prize pool.
Wow.
Wow,
We should be playing, not
I was
commentating.
just thinking that.
Don't forget as well, we want you to keep getting in touch with us in the studio. Send your questions through for Devilfish. You can email us, poker@pokernightlive.co.uk.
Okay, so 64 players left. I'm sure they started with 2,000. I'd just like to get confirmation from that from the back room.
Started with 65.
No, 2,000
Oh,
chips.
sorry.
Yeah. So if we can get confirmation, that'd be great. Oh, no, I want to know the starting chips. Okay, it was 2,000 chips. Because it's normally 1,500 in these multi-table tournaments, but they got extra tonight. And 2,000 added is fantastic. It's only a $10 tournament.
Yeah, that's true, but I would just like to point out that we're adding a lot more money if you log on devilfishpoker.com, which has got some really great tournaments.
Put you over my knee in a minute if you carry on like
Jesus,
that.
I was hoping for that. Fantastic.
So do you do a lot of teaching to new players? Do you?
Yeah, I could teach you whatever you wanted, actually. Oh, for new players, excuse me. No, not really, but I'm here, you know. I'm reading.
You're
for the
willing
phone
to
call.
answer all the viewers' questions?
Yeah, I mean, I sat next to a guy in a tournament last night and he asked me about 40 different questions.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to have to start charging you. So he actually bought me a bottle of orange juice.
Didn't get many answers for that.
If only you'd stuck on the orange juice today, we would have been all right.
No, I'm worse than this when I'm sober.
Oh, God.
You
Yes,
love it, you know you do.
He calms down with the...
Hopefully.
Right, so when's the Bellagio start?
This guy's flopped the nuts, so I was just looking on, we missed it.
Oh,
the Bellagio starts on...
oh, go and have a look again, there we are.
Yeah, winner, he just won it, he had the nuts, he had king, queen. But anyway,
Dave, I'm going to pick you up this time. It wasn't the nuts, it was a pair of aces on board, come on.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, I knew it was a winning hand, that's what I meant to say. That's one each.
One each.
I never even saw that.
I know.
Anyway,
Bellagio, when did it start?
well, we're embarrassing each other on TV. The Bellagio, no, I'm only joking. The Bellagio starts, I think it starts about the 5th of April. I haven't even booked a flight yet because I'm on the last minute Larry, you know. I never ever book anything. I'm looking for someone, a PA girl or something. To look after,
Really?
you know, I never book anything, but I'm going out there about the 5th of April till about the 25th, so.
Brilliant.
And it's all no limit hold'em, unfortunately, because I'll play all games, as you know, and I like a bit of a different tournament, you know, change it around a bit, but it's all no limit, so it's all going to be big prizes. And
I'll tell you what, I think it could go well. You say yourself you've had a little bit of a quiet spell for you.
Yeah.
This might just be get you really tuned into your game again and
that's right.
start
Nice and
knocking them
relaxed.
sideways.
Nice and relaxed. I got some money in the bank and stuff. I'm nice and relaxed, and you know, I'm feeling quite positive actually. Since she's had her hand on my leg here. So yeah, I'm hoping it's all going to be roses. Can you turn the lights down a bit? I don't look so good on that TV with these lights.
Oh, you look fine. You look lovely.
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 You look lovely, duck.
She's a Geordie, not a Yorkshire.
I know, I'm not from Yorkshire.
Sorry, Dan, excuse me.
I'm a Geordie. It's like the northern team
You're
tonight.
from the land where they hang the monkeys, right?
No, that's Middlesbrough.
Okay.
Hartlepool.
Close.
Hartlepool.
Hartlepool, yes,
Gotta get
that's
right,
it, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, the thing is, when you're in Bellagio for that amount of time, I think there's no travelling now. You're settled. You've got a lovely room. You'll be doing some exercise in the gym probably. Getting your head together.
You see me in that gym,
No,
did you? See
I
me
did,
in that.
yeah.
I go down
You
that
lift the
gym,
weights a
yeah.
lot.
I went down there once on the cruise.
Yeah.
Have a feel. Oh,
Yeah?
I can vouch for that.
But no, seriously, I think being
Don't
in
say that one
Bellagio
more
for a
time,
while
I'll put it
there,
somewhere else.
I'm expecting some good results from you because I think you'll be settled.
Yeah,
I
you're
think-
exactly right. You know, you get into a routine, you get there and you get relaxed and you're feeling good. And that's why I like to go there for the full tournament. If I don't want to play one day, I'll have a day off.
Exactly.
you
But when
feel
you're
at home
travelling
over
somewhere
there?
else for a week and you just get there for the weekend, you might go for the major event. You're jet lagged, you're tired, you go there, it's all a rush.
That's right.
Not the same.
I mean, that's why I didn't go to Monte Carlo for the last one. You know, it's a lot of hassle. I mean, as it happens, I was last minute again, and I had to get like 2 flights. And you know, by the time I got there, I would have been jet lagged and tired, and I just decided against it. You know, I mean, fortunately, the days have gone now where I had to sort of run around all over England with a gun in my pocket, playing in these really dodgy games, trying to win a crust. You know. I mean, nowadays, it's nice to just send me money because I'm so good looking and charming. You know?
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do.
Lindsay, I'll let you into a little secret. I had the pleasure to be around when Dave was actually starting his poker career.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in Leeds, in Stackers Casino. I was there pretending to play poker tournaments. Actually, I was there to play blackjack, and Dave was busy.
And was he always this feisty, or has that come with success?
He's always been roughly the same, but he was it was very interesting to see him start off the blackjack world because poker world, because at that time he was already quite different. He was looking for a different way to play, which was interesting. But at that time, there were people around about Lucy Rocash was around, and
how long ago was that?
a few years, not many.
Or should I not ask that?
We don't want to talk about that, baby. Well, let's put it this way: you were still drinking milk then, yeah?
Probably. Right, I think we're going to go and have a look at a cash game, James.
Good.
So let's head through the matrix and have a look at this.
Am I allowed to bite your neck on TV?
Well, there we are. It's not the biggest cash game, I'm afraid. It's a 25-cent, 50-cent cash game.
Never mind about how soft my skin is. Can you concentrate on this cash game,
Why are you
Devo
saying
bitch?
that? I never said a word to you. Why are you trying to cause me trouble?
Here we are, 25-cent, 50-cent cash game. The maximum you buy in is $50. Minimum is $5. But we've got some regulars there. We've got Tragic Trev. He turned the $50 into about $150.
Tragic Trev?
Yeah.
Wow.
He plays quite regularly on Poker Night
That's
Live.
quite a good name. I like some of these names they give themselves. It's quite funny, actually.
Oh, they have
Some of them are great names, you know.
Yeah, we have the
Tragic Trev.
Hoof-hearted. He's on.
And was it you?
We have a few of them there. They'll no doubt turn up, much to Lindsay's embarrassment.
Yeah, I've come across a few.
Have you?
Yes.
Have you been wrong-footed?
I have, yeah. I say them too quickly.
No doubt they'll be around.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Assidious, he likes to be called, apparently.
Assidious.
Not Assiduous, it's Assidious he wants to be called.
Assidious.
Big
God.
mint. Actually, I want to ask you a question, Dave. How do you handle playing on the internet yourself? Because to me, it doesn't. In one way, I don't think it's going to be your perfect world. But
Well, you know, I mean, I've got my own site now, as you know, devilfishpoker.com, and I like to sit and play with my boys on there.
sorry, what was that?
Devilfishpoker.com.
You're worse than a pop star trying to plug their new album. Do you know that?
I've actually got a CD out I just made.
Do you know what you like? Because I used to work in radio, and when you interview pop stars and they've got a new album come out, the first thing the album's out on the 29th of May, and it's called.
I've got a book out on June called Swimming with a Devilfish, and I've just done a movie which is called Poker Face. So there you go.
Yeah,
but I've also got my own site, which is devilfishpoker.com, but we're not going to keep mentioning that. And what was the question?
You playing online.
I actually, you know, I just bought this really nice, really beautiful apartment, and I like to sit there on my feet up, I watch a movie, and I put it on, and I get quite into it a little bit. You know, it's quite nice, and I don't get so many ridiculous questions, you know, apart from the girls coming on to me all the time. But you know, it's quite cool. I mean, and
Video cams?
I usually win a few $1,000, you know, a night, and so I mean, I've had one losing night in about 3 weeks, I think.
Wow. So what game do you play online?
I used to play either 1025 Omaha or 510 Omaha, or maybe 2550 or 1025 No Limit Hold'em. You know?
Oh, so you play some Hold'em cash online as well?
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you why I said, obviously, listen, I know you're a great player, but in a way, I know your table presence is so good in live games. It's just, I think so much of that is lost online.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you cause mayhem with a computer?
Well, a lot of the
In the
players,
chat
you know,
box.
they all, well, they still know who I am because, like, you know, I have to play my own name, so they still know it's really me. And like, I think when they play me, they get this vision in me sat there, like to see me on the TV, and they still like respect me, you know.
Yeah.
And I can still rob them blind, so it's not so bad. You know, they roll up in a shepherd's pie in the back of the trousers while I'm rocking and rolling and stealing off them, you know. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
So it's a
good.
perfect format for you.
Yeah.
And you're saying you're having a bit of a quiet period for you at the moment. So how do you deal with patches like that?
Well, what you do is you sell 10% of your site and you cash in your ultimate bet shares and stuff, and you get yourself a nice few quid in the bank, and you don't give a
You
dog's
don't worry
bollock.
about it.
No.
You don't worry about
You don't
it.
worry about it,
Yes.
darling. No, exactly.
But how do you refocus? Just by chilling out?
Well, you know I'm still playing good. I mean, as I say, I knocked out 4 people on the tournament today, and I just ramsacked them. I mean, it was like it was the shortest, like,
So this was a TV tournament?
Yeah, and
oh,
there's
right,
six people on, and it was like the shortest they've had, you know, because I just sort of went right through them like a knife through butter. And can you zoom in a little bit, please?
Well, they can't,
No,
because
no,
you're
no.
so good looking. If they zoom in, you'll crack the lens.
You taking the piss, baby?
No.
You're there. They've got you. They've got you.
They can
So-
see. They can see your beautiful face now. You're on camera. Give them a wave.
I'm not on camera yet. No. They got the poker back on down. Oh.
Got him.
To all the girls I've loved before. What was that?
So if you've got any questions for Devilfish, we want you to email them in to us, poker@pokernightlive.co.uk.
Any questions on any games? The Fish plays all games of poker.
You play Omaha as well,
I
don't
play
you?
every game, baby. You don't have to be Nolan, just ask me and I'll answer it for you. There you go.
Paducah?
Paducah, yeah, wow. They used to call me the Paducah King, the Chinese. Paducah King.
Actually, it's a big game in Sheffield, isn't it, Paducah?
Yeah, I used to play it all over the north of England, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember once when I was really on my toes and money was tight, I was playing a guy called Norman,
Right?
and he put £5,000 in on a bluff, and I called him, baby. You know.
Wow. It's a,
In them days, that was a lot of cash for me in Paducah, but yeah.
can you give us a brief description of what Paducah is?
Yeah, Paducah is it's a game where you get dealt four cards, and the idea of the game is to try and get yourself ace, deuce, 3, 4, all of a different suit.
Right.
But it's very, very difficult to do. And the idea is to get yourself a Paducah, a hand already made, which is obviously four different cards, which are different suits, with no pair,
Yeah.
and get someone chasing you, trying to catch the
So
cards.
it's the lowest hand,
That's right.
but they've all got to be different suits.
That's right.
And so now do you draw?
Well, you know, the idea of the game is to get yourself a Paducah made
Right. Oh,
and get them chasing you.
okay.
Right.
Because they don't really.
You'd like to be dealt that
Yeah, they
Paducah.
don't really realise, you know, what odds they are to try and catch the hand, you know.
Right.
Because they've got to find a card that doesn't pair them up, that's a low card, that's a different suit. I mean, it's very difficult.
Mm,
And
Yeah.
they're
sounds
chasing
it.
you, and they're putting the money in at even money and 2-1, and they're probably, you know, the big odds, you know.
So basically, it is a good mathematical game
Yeah,
because we could
that's
count how
right.
many outs they've got to make their hand.
That's right. But it's also a game where you can do a lot of moves, you know. So that's why you got to play. If you're playing Paducah, you got to play in a game where there's a lot of money on the table. Then you can do moves on them. You can't do moves on them when they're all in. You know,
They're
you
all
get two
skint.
people all in. You know?
They've got the fiver in front of
That's
them.
right,
They're going
you
to
know.
call with anything.
Don't play
that's
the
right.
game with taxi drivers.
Yeah. In fact, you are the greatest bluffer probably in the poker world, just about. But have you got a little guideline for us about people we shouldn't bluff?
Yeah, don't ever bluff the monkeys, you know. I mean, don't ever bluff. Don't bluff the lunatics in the game. You know, the guys who are going to call you. I mean, you can spot them 10 miles away, and every time you raise, they call. You know.
Yeah.
And every time you bet the flop, they call. You bet the 10, they call. I mean, these guys, they just want to go to war. They just want to go home and say, well, I went broke, but I went broke to the devilfish.
Yeah.
You know, or they want to go home and say, I broke the devilfish.
So
you know?
against them, the devilfish is going to be a rock.
Well, no, yeah, that's right. I mean, you got to change your game around.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about knowing your players, reading your players, and playing them accordingly. You know,
Yeah.
as you know that.
Yeah.
You know, James, I know, you know.
So, all
I
right.
mean, James is a
Mixing
rock.
it up.
James is one of the rocks of the rocks, you know. When he's in the pot, I start to worry. Don't worry about that.
But you have to mix it up depending on what table you're on
Exactly right. You
and
got to
who your
loosen them.
opponents
You know,
are.
you got, I don't mind losing a few pounds, you know, to get them loose and to get them gambling, and then you know, hopefully I'll swing it round on them and take all the money off them.
So you can change the way someone else is playing.
Yeah, I can loosen them up. I change gears, and I can like play really fast and get them playing fast, and then I sort of slow down without them even realising, and I'm playing quite tight now, you know.
And how do you spot when someone's bluffing you or trying to bluff you?
Well, not many people dare bluff me, but occasionally when they do, I'm a very good reader actually. I don't know if once so long ago on TV where I called Gus's hand twice exactly right in Oldham, so that's pretty cool. But in Omaha, I can do it a lot better. I can put people on a hand a lot better. By the way, the bet before the flop, on the 10, I don't worry about whether they're moving their ass around or if they're sweating or they're
It's
easy.
the way they're betting.
It's the way they bet, it's the patterns, you know.
Because a lot of
Yeah.
people, I think, get too wrapped up in the physical signs, whether they've got a bead of sweat dripping down their head or they're...
Lindsay, that
They're
is a
fidgeting.
very astute point from you. I think that's top marks for that, because that is why someone like the Devilfish, and we've just questioned him on it, can still play brilliantly on the internet.
Well, because
he
you
doesn't
haven't
need
got
all
those
that.
signs
He's
on the
telling,
internet, yeah.
He's getting his tells from their betting on the internet.
Exactly right. And I mean, it's like I said, you know, I mean, I was saying that the best way to tell, you know, whether, you know, to watch people play and get tells of them, forget about all that rubbish what you worry about, but try and find a situation where some guy's betting, and some guy's calling, or some guy's betting and some guy's raising. And this is when you want to be really watching carefully. Watch what they do. And hopefully the cards will be turned over at the end. You can see who was bluffing, who had the hand. And then you remember exactly what they did, you see.
So it's watching when you're not involved in the hand.
Watching when you're not involved in the hand, and when two guys are going to war with each other. And hopefully the cards get turned over. Now this gives you so much information on how they acted, because you can see whether it was bluffing or whether they had the hand. So you remember what they did, you see. That's a lot more informative than, the guy scratched his ear,
Yeah. Well, you can go back exactly, Dave, you can go back exactly and just say, well, how much money did he raise when he had ace-queen suited?
Well, that's it.
And just remember it.
Exactly right. Once you see the cards, now you can build a story up and build a pattern up.
Makes no difference whether he's wearing his shades or he's got his iPod on.
No, or he's scratching his ass or whatever.
So those things we can do on the internet as well. So when you're playing on the internet and you do get a chance to see the cards, think back to the start of that pot. How did it all start?
Yeah.
What was his raise and what hand did he have?
Exactly
Jot it down, put it in his little box.
I was saying, if I played on the internet really seriously, for a living, which I don't do because I don't play enough, I would write down all the names, because, not many people change the name, especially if they're winning players.
No, because they want to frighten you with their name.
They want to frighten you with their name, and they're happy with that name, and they're superstitious. They don't want to change it for whatever reason. So write down the names and watch how they play. Because beautiful thing with the internet, you can spectate for as long as you want. Nobody knows you're watching them.
Yep.
And you can watch how they play, and you can write down, and you can find yourself nice, easy games.
You don't even have to be playing that game. Just sit and take notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, on the sites now you can make notes, can't you? You can put notes by the name of the player.
I don't know. I'm not. I mean, it takes me an hour to open the laptop. I'm not very clever that way, but
you can do it with a notepad if you want. I suppose it doesn't.
I mean, if I ain't got a mouse, I'm always like raising when I mean to call and if I ain't got a mouse, I touch it and it goes call like $500. I go whoa, I got nothing, But I need a mouse.
All right.
It can't be a bad thing though, because you can confuse people pressing the wrong button.
Myself, but it's I'm useless on the internet, but like I say, you can actually. No,
but I like that what you said. Though what I want for the viewers there is really interesting. You said if you were actually playing internet full time, you'd be logging everybody.
I would be taking notes down. It would be fine. It's like when you walk in a casino and there's a lot of rocks out there. Like there's 7 of you out there.
Bloody
I
hell.
I don't want to sit in that game. You know what I mean?
You don't want to play 7 games.
You want to find an easy game. So you might have to play a little bit lower than you usually do, or you might have to play a little bit higher. But it's better if the game's good.
Exactly. That's what I often say to people. You don't always have to look exactly the price of the game, because there might be far better value even in the cheaper game than the bigger game. The bigger game might be the deadest game in the world, mightn't it, Dave?
That's right. And this says devilfishpoker.com if you can't read
it. It's better winning in a lower stakes game than losing in a higher stakes one.
Of course it is, yeah. It's a matter of percentage.
Common sense, yeah.
If you just think of a percentage, if you've got like 1% of $100, or if you've got 20% of $50, well, 20% of $50 is far better.
It's better to win $1 than lose 1,000. I mean,
exactly.
Any win's a win, right?
Exactly.
At the end of the day, it is a percentage game, so it's a matter of picking a game. Game selection is a massive
thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you how massive it is. I know you probably have come across him, a top backgammon player called Mike Svobodny. Probably on your travels.
Never heard of him.
All right, then, okay. He was world champion. Anyway, he was a travel around, top money player. He had one player who they all used to follow around, a guy called the Crocodile, a French guy. That was game selection.
Yeah.
They followed him round the world. And
was that the guy who was always crying, the Crocodile?
Oh dear, boom, boom.
He was ticking as well.
Crocodile tears. Well, we're going to go back to the multi-table tournament and have a look at how they're getting back along there.
Back to the green. Here
there
we go.
it is. So we started off with 65 players.
And how many have we got now? Any idea?
Got 56 64. Now.
Right, down to 56.
56 left.
And the big stack, I think, apparently is 5,775. And the smaller stack is 980.
We want your questions through to us as well, as always. We're fully interactive and you should take advantage of the fact we've got Devilfish here tonight and put your poker questions to him if you want to ask him about bluffing, anything at all. It's amateur night tonight, so don't worry if it's quite a simple question. That's all right, isn't it, Dave?
The simpler the better, actually. I've been drinking.
Yeah, that definitely. Keep them simple, guys.
Lindsay's been writing down his chat-up lines and she'll tell you which the best one was at the end
of the night. I don't know about being the best one. I'll tell you which is the worst, maybe. You can email us poker@pokernightlive.co.uk.
Right, we've got 56 players left. The average chips now is about 2,321. Start off with 64 players. So that's was 128,000 chips.
Yeah.
And we've got Franny Wu calls with King 6.
I've seen Franny Wu before on here.
This is a play you will not see the Devilfish doing, limping with King 6. I don't think he's ever done it in his life.
Well, the trouble with King 6, I mean, you don't know what you want to catch, you know. I mean, you catch a king, you go broke.
Oh,
Well, actually, you don't know
that's what you want to catch.
Yeah, you want to catch 6 ace. I forgot about that. Excuse me. I mean, the Devilfish, I forgot about the 3 6s. The devil, unbelievable.
How could you forget the 3 6?
Obviously, that's why I limped in.
But normally that's not a good play. That's
No.
just...
Well, the trouble with this hand is you know, apart from like 6 ace, which even then, I mean, you know, a
You could
guy
be
can
against-
catch the flush neck go, or a guy could have 2 aces or ace 6.
Yeah.
But I mean, like King 6 of spades. Never ever call for something unless it's going to be, unless you're going to catch, got a chance of catching the nuts, you know.
Exactly.
Simple.
So what Dave's saying is you've got to know where you are.
Exactly
If you're going to
right.
take a risk, at least hit something where you know where you are.
Right. What's the point of catching the flush draw and somebody might be having the nut flush draw?
And you pay him off, you lose all your stack.
Exactly.
Horrible. So you've got to be, if you're going to take risks where you can win a lot and probably
You know
get
what
away
you-
from it
and
for
you-
small.
And you know what you want to catch.
And get away from it if it's not there.
Exactly right, yeah.
But these ones, when he's, that's why with people with their king queens, these are nightmare hands. They could be in pots, they never know where they are. They can lose a big pot, but they're never confident enough to win a big pot.
Especially in a race pot. I mean, king queen in an unraised pot maybe might not be so bad, but in a race pot, you know, somebody's probably got ace king, ace queen there, 2 aces, 2 kings. I mean,
Dave,
you can catch a bit of the flop and you go broke.
you're a man after my own heart there, because I'd created a saying for here for the programme. It is king queen rules in the land of the unraised pot.
Yeah, exactly right.
So
Exactly.